in a way, this pandemic has changed our education and made us feel the need of digitalization in medical education. This has given us an opportunity to explore newer technologies as well.
Hello everyone, welcome to Behind White Coat podcast.
I am Yubika Shrestha, a third year medical student.
I am Sriya Sharma, a second year medical student.
Year 2020 has been challenging year for us. COVID-19 pandemic has created a fear of service and threatened to all the mankind regarding the normality we hold. And it is the beginning to reshape almost every aspect of our world, and that includes the field of medicine too.
Every academic activities are running online, even by medical school. That includes classes, presentations, practicals, and even exams. Exam indeed is essential for knowing our potential and how much we have learned. It is vital that every student should be examined time to time. That would establish the attachment of curriculum learning outcomes.
We have been experiencing the online classes for around 4 months. This is the first experience to all the students in the developing countries like us. And looking to the developed one, it is the system of learning there.
During this period, we have so many experiences and thoughts regarding online classes and upcoming exams. This brings us to today's topic: how is your experience regarding online learning and how you prepare yourself for upcoming online exams? So we have our guests Subhas, Sakar and Ronit.
Subhash is a third year medical student, Sakar is a second year medical student, and Ronit is a first year medical student. Moving on to the program. Subhash, you are having an online classes too. How is your experience regarding the online classes and how they differ from the normal classes?
Thank you, Vika. This pandemic has made us to go with everything virtually. This is my first experience with the online classes. Regarding my experiences, I have got a lot of problem at the beginning of the classes. It was not easy to be adapted with the virtual learning process. There was no internet access at first, but also after having internet access, there would be network or electricity problem at the middle of the lectures. Beside all those problems, online classes have been a new method of learning and makes us engage during this lockdown period. Apart from our academic course, I got an opportunity to know a lot of things beyond the academics with the help of the different webinars and the online programs. So, what I think is that learning becomes easier if we adapt to the way.
Yes, Dada. I also think we should try to make best out of the situation from every possible aspect. Adapting to a new method of learning is always challenging. We are not all provided with same facilities, so it's difficult to cope with it. But at the same time, it's an opportunity to get used to online method of learning, which I think will be fruitful for upcoming future days. And since clinical start from third year, we all are excited to go to hospitals and learn. It must have been a different excitement for you too. But due to pandemic, it's not feasible to visit hospitals for practicals. How's the college dealing with this matter?
Well, while talking about the clinicals, we third year medical students are supposed to visit the hospital after the theory classes. We were very much excited to visit different wards of the hospital, but during this pandemic period, there is very less possibility of the hospital visit. So we are having only theory classes of our clinical subjects. Practical knowledge is must in the field of the medicine. So we are a bit anxious that we may face difficulties in future due to lack of exposure to the patient now. Exposure to the patient makes our learning much more easier and practicable. So we hope we could have enough hospital visit after this pandemic.
Yes, Subhash. Looking forward to the days when everything will be normal and we will be able to go to hospitals for the practicals that would really help to compensate the loss we had. And we are going to have our third year online internal assessment. You might have felt anxiety regarding the online exams. How are you coping with that stress?
Yes, Yuvika, exams are near and so are the anxiety it brings along. But since many of our seniors and juniors have already had their online exams, I hope I could get some suggestion from them.
Yes, Subhas, the exam anxiety has really took our attention to the study, but we still think how we would be able to cope with them. We will follow the suggestion that would be provided by our seniors and juniors, helping us in avoiding the technical issues arise during the exam.
Yes, hope we will get along with it. Sakar, second year is the crucial period of med school. and we consider this one is Iron Gate. It totally depends on our performance that would we be able to enter third year or not. So you have been attending online classes, right? How's your experience regarding online classes?
Thank you, Shreya, for inviting me to be a part of this podcast and for giving me this opportunity to talk about my experiences on online learning that we have been practicing for the last 4 months. Regarding my experiences, there are both aspects to it. I would say, in a way, this pandemic has changed our education and made us feel the need of digitalization in medical education. So, this has given us an opportunity to explore newer technologies as well. And one of the good things about online classes is that we can continue our education in the comfort of our homes in the midst of this pandemic. And it has also helped us to develop a habit of self learning, which is a very good thing. In context to our second year, I think we are much luckier when we compare ourselves with other batches. Our seniors who have to attend clinical postings in hospital and learn beside the bedside of patients, they are not able to do so. And even with our juniors, they just kind of they just came to college and they are unaware of a lot of. Having said that, there are a lots of obstacles as well, and I always feel that lack of human connection and opportunities of collaborative learning in online classes. Besides, there are other problems as well, like internet and electricity issues, lack of access to learning resources, and sometimes it is very difficult to manage the appropriate environment to take online classes at homes. Learning from homes also come along with a lot of distractions, and we tend to lose our concentration during the lecture.
Yes, Sakar, pandemic has really changed the way of education to online, leaving the student out of classroom. Adapting to modern method of learning by leaving traditional method is always challenging. Hope will adapt to it. And I think second year is indeed the year that matters in MBBS. It's great that our college is giving significant effort for giving good education and is trying to improve the quality. And do you think classes would have been much more better with practicals like it used to be?
Completely agreed, Shreya. We are having classes, but they are incomplete without practicals. Practicals, they are extremely essential part of medical education. For example, anatomy. So it is not the same without looking at the actual specimen, and it is not fun without dissections. Of course, we can look it up on the internet, but real practical sessions, they are something else. That goes the same for other subjects as well. But again, I must say, something is always better than nothing. And the efforts of our college to conduct online classes and assignments are commendable.
Yes. What about you, Ronit? Your batch had just got admitted and got locked down. Everything went online. And you have your online exams to write. How's your experience regarding online learning?
Firstly, thank you, Shreya Didi, for having me on this podcast. At this time of global pandemic, possible to conduct regular classes. We are aware that medicine cannot be studied online as smoothly as it could be in classrooms. But what matters is how we adapt to this crisis. And I feel online classes is a good option to keep the course going. For me, it was really difficult to concentrate at the beginning. I was easily distracted, but now as months have passed, I too have quite adapted to the situation better than months ago at the start. As there are 3 classes a day, I do get time for self-study and to keep up with the assignments. The online classes too have gotten better over time, and I believe it will only get better. But as there are pros, there are cons too for the online classes. The major of which is practicals, which are very much necessary and cannot be done online, as Sakaradai already said. But I hope a solution will come up for it too.
Ronit, by the time we all are adapting to it, And happy to hear that you started adapting with the virtual learning. Actually, everything has pros and cons, but focusing on the pros actually help in reducing the anxiety and that should help us to adapt with the process. You too have given your internal assessment online. How was it? Would you like to give some suggestion to the seniors who are going to have their exams very soon?
Thank you, Yuvika Didi. The online exams were quite interesting as it was the first time I had attended such an exam. For me, there were very few technical difficulties, but as a whole, many of us faced a lot of technical issues. The exam pattern demanded objective knowledge, and also everyone didn't have a stable internet connection. For my seniors who are having online exams soon, I wish you all the best for the exams. The major issue that can arise during the exam is break in the internet connection. Sometimes all the questions might not be received. So I would like to suggest my seniors to have a stable internet connection and to keep track of the number of questions. For those seniors using their phones to give exams, I think it would be better to spend some time getting used to the split screen mode before the exam, as it would be necessary to join Meet and to open camera during the exam.
Yes, hope this will help our seniors and everyone having exams. Today we got to know about so many experiences regarding the online classes. We weren't used to it, but now we're doing our best to adapt to the virtual world. Though this pandemic has so many cons, but what I think it has so many pros too. So whatever we are, wherever we are, we must try our best to adapt to the possible ways of learning, as learning never stops in that school.
Thank you so much, participants, and me, Yubika Shrestha,
And me, Shriya Sarma.
would like to congratulate everyone doing their best in adapting to the present world we are in. Best of luck to all those who are going to have their exams. And finally, we are ending this podcast. Happy learning.